Picture this. You're sitting on your back porch on what should be a perfect summer evening, and suddenly you're under siege. Mosquitoes are dive bombing you like tiny fighter jets, and you're wondering if they've somehow gotten angrier, more aggressive, or just plain meaner than they used to be. Well, here's the thing, you're not imagining it. Climate change isn't just melting ice caps and causing hurricanes. It's literally rewiring how mosquitoes behave, turning these already annoying pests into supercharged versions of their former selves. We're talking about insects that are breeding faster, biting harder, and spreading to places they've never been before. It's like Mother Nature decided to give mosquitoes a software update, and unfortunately for us, this update comes with some pretty nasty features. So grab your favorite mosquito repellent and settle in, because we're about to explore how our changing climate is creating a mosquito apocalypse that's reshaping the way these tiny vampires operate. The warming world is essentially rolling out the red carpet for mosquitoes everywhere. These blood-sucking insects have been around for millions of years, but they're now experiencing what can only be described as their golden age. Rising temperatures are acting like a turbo boost for mosquito development, speeding up their life cycles in ways that would make your head spin. Think about it this way. Mosquitoes are cold-blooded creatures, which means their body temperature matches their environment. When the world gets warmer, they get warmer too. And warmer mosquitoes are more active mosquitoes. They fly faster, bite more frequently, and reproduce at rates that would make rabbits jealous. What used to take weeks for a mosquito to develop from egg to adult can now happen in just days under the right conditions. But here's where it gets really interesting. Warmer temperatures don't just make mosquitoes more active, they're actually changing the fundamental biology of these insects. The enzymes that control mosquito metabolism work faster in heat, meaning everything from digestion to egg production gets supercharged. It's like switching a mosquito from regular unleaded fuel to high-octane racing fuel. The breeding game has completely changed too. Mosquitoes need water to reproduce, and climate change is creating perfect storm conditions for mosquito nurseries. Increased rainfall in some regions means more puddles, more flooded areas, and more temporary water sources where mosquitoes can lay their eggs. Meanwhile, rising temperatures mean that water stays warm longer, creating ideal incubation conditions. Even more troubling is how climate change is extending mosquito seasons. What used to be a few months of mosquito activity is now stretching into longer periods. In some places, mosquito season never really ends anymore. Winters that were once cold enough to kill off mosquito populations are becoming milder, allowing these pests to survive year-round and get a head start on the next breeding season. The geographical boundaries that once kept mosquitoes in check are dissolving faster than ice cream on hot pavement. Species that were confined to tropical regions are now marching steadily toward the poles, following the warming temperatures like a roadmap to new territories. Mountain ranges that once acted as natural barriers are becoming highways for mosquito expansion as temperatures rise at higher elevations. This isn't just about having more mosquitoes to swat away during barbecues. We're witnessing mosquito species encountering each other for the first time in evolutionary history. When different mosquito populations meet and potentially interbreed, they can create hybrid offspring with unpredictable characteristics. Some of these hybrids might be more aggressive, more resistant to pesticides, or better at surviving in harsh conditions. The timing of mosquito activity is getting thrown completely out of whack too. Many mosquito species have evolved to sync their life cycles with seasonal changes. But climate change is scrambling these natural rhythms. Some mosquitoes are emerging earlier in the spring, while others are staying active later into the fall. This disruption in timing can lead to population explosions when natural predators aren't around to keep mosquito numbers in check. Rainfall patterns are becoming increasingly erratic, and mosquitoes are adapting to these changes in fascinating and frightening ways. Some species are becoming better at surviving drought conditions by finding new types of breeding sites or by developing the ability to delay their development until conditions improve. Others are taking advantage of sudden flooding events to rapidly expand their populations. The urban heat island effect is creating mosquito hotspots in cities around the world. Concrete and asphalt absorb heat during the day and release it at night, creating consistently warm microclimates that mosquitoes absolutely love. Combined with urban water sources like storm drains, fountains, and even discarded containers, cities are becoming mosquito manufacturing centers. What's particularly concerning is how these behavioral changes are affecting disease transmission patterns. Mosquitoes aren't just becoming more numerous and aggressive. They're also becoming more efficient at spreading the pathogens they carry. Warmer temperatures can speed up virus replication inside mosquito bodies, making them infectious sooner and for longer periods. The feeding behavior of mosquitoes is changing in response to climate pressures too. Some species are becoming more opportunistic, biting a wider range of hosts or feeding more frequently than they used to. This behavioral flexibility is helping mosquitoes adapt to changing environments, but it's also increasing the chances of disease transmission between different animal species, including humans. The survival strategies mosquitoes are developing would be impressive if they weren't so terrifying. These tiny insects are essentially becoming climate change refugees, but instead of fleeing from harsh conditions, they're adapting to them in ways that make them even more formidable opponents. Some mosquito populations are developing resistance to temperature extremes that would have wiped them out just a few decades ago. Scientists have discovered that mosquitoes in warming climates are actually evolving larger body sizes. Bigger mosquitoes can fly farther, carry more blood, and produce more eggs per feeding cycle. It's like nature is upgrading these pests to premium versions of themselves. These supersized mosquitoes aren't just theoretical either. Researchers are finding them in field studies across multiple continents, and they're consistently outperforming their smaller cousins in almost every measurable way. The metabolic changes happening inside mosquitoes are equally dramatic. Warmer temperatures are accelerating the rate at which mosquitoes process blood meals, meaning they can complete their reproductive cycle faster than ever before. What's particularly unsettling is that this speed boost doesn't seem to come with any trade-offs. These turbocharged mosquitoes aren't sacrificing longevity or reproductive success for speed. They're getting the best of both worlds. Climate change is also messing with the delicate balance between mosquitoes and their natural enemies. Many of the birds, bats, and other predators that normally keep mosquito populations in check are struggling to adapt to rapidly changing conditions. Meanwhile, mosquitoes are thriving, creating a perfect storm where predator populations decline just as prey populations explode. The chemical communication systems that mosquitoes use are getting scrambled by changing environmental conditions. Rising CO2 levels in the atmosphere are making it easier for mosquitoes to track down their next meal, since they use carbon dioxide as a primary hunting signal. It's like turning up the volume on their dinner bell, making humans and other warm-blooded animals more detectable from greater distances. Humidity patterns are shifting in ways that favor mosquito survival and reproduction. Many mosquito species require specific humidity levels to prevent their eggs from drying out, and climate change is creating more areas with ideal moisture conditions. This is particularly problematic in regions that were previously too dry to support large mosquito populations, but are now experiencing increased humidity due to changing weather patterns. The behavioral flexibility mosquitoes are showing is genuinely remarkable from a scientific perspective, even if it's terrifying from a human one. Some populations are shifting their activity patterns, becoming active during different times of day or night to avoid the hottest temperatures while still maintaining their feeding schedules. Others are developing preferences for different types of hosts based on availability and environmental conditions. Vector-borne diseases are spreading to new regions at an alarming pace, carried by these climate-adapted mosquitoes. Diseases that were once confined to specific geographic areas are now popping up in places where they've never been seen before. The mosquitoes carrying these pathogens are essentially biological delivery systems that are becoming more efficient and far-reaching thanks to climate change. The seasonal timing disruptions are creating cascading effects throughout ecosystems. When mosquitoes emerge before their natural predators are ready for them, or when they remain active after predators have entered dormancy, population explosions become inevitable. These timing mismatches are becoming more common as climate patterns become increasingly unpredictable. Agricultural areas are experiencing some of the most dramatic changes in mosquito behavior. Irrigation systems, crop flooding, and changing precipitation patterns are creating abundant breeding opportunities for mosquitoes. Some farming regions that rarely dealt with significant mosquito problems are now facing seasonal invasions that affect both livestock and human populations. So there you have it. Climate change isn't just reshaping our planet's weather patterns and sea levels. It's creating an army of supercharged mosquitoes that are faster, hungrier, and more dangerous than ever before. These tiny buzzing menaces are adapting to our warming world with the kind of efficiency that would make tech companies jealous. From extended breeding seasons to expanded territories, mosquitoes are winning the climate change game while the rest of us are still figuring out the rules. The next time you find yourself under attack during what should be a peaceful evening outdoors, remember that you're not just dealing with regular mosquitoes anymore. You're facing off against climate-adapted superpests that have been fine-tuned by rising temperatures and changing weather patterns. It's like they've